This convention is beating me down to the ground.
Yeah, he hurt his leg yesterday. I didn't mean to mind.
It's actually a fairly good story. First off, good morning, everybody. The last day of the convention. What have you guys thought so far? Awesome, good, fun. Fiesta Equestria. How many of you are first-timers to a convention? So I think it's been like a 50-50 split at most of our panels. So, usually it's like 3 people and 3 people, so, yeah.
Well, what do y'all think about your first year con? What are some highlights?
How many of you were at the concert last night? How many of you were at it till it ended last night?
Oh, wow.
How many of you are actually alive right now? Like, that's impressive. Good. He's alive. She's alive. She was partying hard.
Yeah, we were throwing glow sticks and punching that volleyball.
And you were smacking me with like some
glow
stick or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's Bubbles? That's a good brother right there.
So what's going to happen in this panel is we're all going to just pretend like we're having a really good time, and people are going to be like, "Oh, what am I missing? What am I missing?" And that's kind of just how all the panels that Saber and I usually go on go. So then people are like, "Oh, this isn't what I."
Oh my God! This panel's amazing. It's so much better than the voice actor panel, right?
Right. Thank you. Great audience. I think that about concludes the panel too.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's called the community guest
panel.
Yeah.
Now, oh wait. So we're supposed to answer things. Q&A. Maybe we can change what the Q&A officially stands for. Quiche and anchovies.
Apples. Ew.
Oh god. Yeah.
My Little Pony trivia?
How many ponies are in the show? 6.
How many times has Lyra been shown in the background at the exact same time because of overlaying issues?
14 times in that spinning shot of Rainbow Dash?
Yes, I know. Like Lyra. Do what? Oh my god.
How did you get back?
You want to hear? Okay, funny story. Because I've been doing the Bronies React stuff with Ray's here since I when I was picked up for the second episode, when it was the reaction to Derpy. And every single time I'm like, okay, I'm going to do something different this time. Like I'm not going to just sit in front of my computer. I want to do some green screen stuff and have some fun with that. And I never did. So I finally did it for this time. And all my equipment, that keeps the green screen standing up, my little sister, she's borrowing it for some photography stuff. So I'm like, oh crap, I gotta improvise. So I went to my garage, I duct taped the green screen to the garage. I had to open the garage for lighting, and then I ruined the audio where the sound's horrible. I thought, screw it, I'm gonna make this look as bad as possible with horrible cropping, horrible audio, horrible visuals, but you guys know how I got back from this dimension, right? Okay, well, I saw this kid with Goofy and Donald. He had a keyblade, and they jumped through this door, and I followed through with them, so that's how I got back.
What was his name?
Sora. Have you played Kingdom Hearts?
No.
Really?
No.
Were you a huge Disney?
Are you kidding me? I played Kingdom Hearts. I've been waiting for PlayStation to have a new installment of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Wasn't it E3 where they announced Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yes. Yeah. And everyone was like, "Time to get a PS7 or whatever they're at."
4.
Thank you.
Do you think they're just going to keep going up and up from this?
Yes.
iPhone 5, 6.
Thank you for joining us. I saw them walk in and go, no.
He just flexes off on the way out. I know Xbox One, it's kind of pretentious, WON, we won. And then they look at their sales and they're like, oh God almighty. Well, how many guys are going to get Xbox Ones? And we don't judge here, right? Yeah, you're right. He's got it. PC Master Race.
So do you like your Xbox? How is it?
It's pretty good.
It's all right.
I mean,
So yeah,
that's the reason
I
why
think it's more about what games you want to get than the actual, like, people are like, yeah, dude, PlayStation all the way, but it's usually, or Xbox all the way because of a game. It's like,
it's legacy too, like, it's almost like you're like swearing your name to like a football
you have to
team or
choose
something.
one. Like,
Yeah.
how many people have both?
There's
One, a couple.
We use seen that. You all know Paleo Stinner, right? Okay, he's a friend of mine. He's a huge video game nerd, and he's a die-hard Nintendo fan. And he's argued that Nintendo has the best library of games, and I agree with him. But I'm getting tired of like their controllers look so weird. Like they achieve perfection with the GameCube controller. Just stop there.
We need to go back to the old joystick Atari controller, like
the little roller ball, you know.
Yeah. I would imagine. Oh yes, we gained another one. Look at now we're filling it out. Woo! Welcome! Yeah! We're gonna just have to do that with everyone that comes.
Yes, everybody gets a cheer. Yeah, exactly. Well, Nintendo Wii U or Wii? Yeah.
I was afraid of the Wii when they were like, hey, we have games that you can work out with, and I was like,
Wait, how many guys play Super Smash Brothers? Alright, I want to do a poll. Wait, Samus is your main? Is Kirby still the overpowered one? No! Who's the OP? Marth? Sonic? Captain Falcon hasn't been announced for the new one yet, which kind of concerns me.
is Mickey Mouse in it? Mickey Mouse, is he?
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? You know, Mickey Mouse is here to take me home. This panel is just ADD unlimited.
On the channel. Again, this is the community guest panel. I'm AC Racefest and Sabres Park. We've been part of a couple panels at this convention, having a great time.
Oh, that was so much fun.
That was great. Who's Line? So was everyone here for the Who's Line? Was anyone not here for it? I forgive you. I couldn't make it. But that was fun. So I mentioned that my leg hurt, and you were asking why? Like, what's wrong? Okay, so did anyone see us last night running around the convention and be like, what the heck are they doing with those horsehead people? Anyone see that? You recorded it. All right, so he's like, no one's going to believe this at home. Well, basically, Saber and I were working on putting together a video, which you all will be seeing here in a couple of days. And it involved us running, falling, tripping, and punching, crying, all sorts of...
Getting yelled at.
Yeah, getting yelled at. Yeah, that happened. Why are we doing it?
Last year we made a video with our friends Beavitz and Jay Holler called what was the video called?
Hasbro versus Conventions.
And that was back when like Hasbro was like just like a slasher film.
I think it was within a month of them axing out the video game that was fighting this magic.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
So
we dressed up as like Hasbro executives and throwing out cease and desist to everybody at the convention. We thought, let's do Florida Puff! Yeah! Woo! How are you?
What I love about her is she answers you, like, you know, most walk-arounds are like, yeah, and she's like, no, I'm good.
I'm a bit tired, I'm good.
Oh, man. But yeah, no, so we were making a follow-up video to that, and it wasn't that painful to make at the time. I went down really hard at one point, like legitimately tripping over my shoes. And, you know, we walked around, we went to the concert afterwards, it all seemed fine, and last night, like, I was in bed, and I went to turn over, and I'm like, my leg hurts really bad. And Saber's just, like, laughing at me.
All the pain just rushed to him at once.
I was like, ow! And I don't know why, like, I'm not sure what it was, but, yeah, morphine's one of all the drugs, so. I'm kidding. What? No, so, yeah, I don't know what it was. Obviously, I'm walking fine. It was just weird. It was like my leg went to sleep and didn't want to wake back up. So my leg. My leg. So yeah. So that's what it was. Something for you guys to look forward to, or not look. Woo! Yeah! Now we can get the panel started. All right. Yes.
What's this panel? What are we gonna talk about?
Where we can talk about whatever they want to talk about.
Yep.
Do you guys have any questions?
Oh my God.
So I was born, and here I am now. That's my life. Really, nothing's happened to me.
You should write an autobiography.
I just, yeah.
I was born and here I am too. Right from the hospital. I was hanging out there for the last 26 years and then I came over here.
So yeah, any questions?
Do you like chicken?
Yeah, I do. Do you like chicken?
Of course.
Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
I teased him this morning. I'm like, hey, let's go get some Chick-fil-A on a Sunday.
Who here hasn't had Chick-fil-A?
I had Chick-fil-A before the other day.
But who has not had Chick-fil-A before? Good. How's it, George?
Yeah, welcome! Woo!
Yes.
Oh.
Have you guys ever had bread pudding before?
It's extra ready.
It's really good. Free ice cream? Dude, check this out. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. This was Saber's highlight of his convention. Right there.
Someone gave it to me, and then I was like, oh, okay. It's for whoever wants something.
The reason why I'm kind of hesitant is when we were filming yesterday,
Yeah, we saw a guy walking around with those boxes.
and we're like, maybe these things could come bad.
We just want to hand out food.
Massive food poisoning.
Shuts down the convention forever.
Favorite spot food in Fiesta Equestria.
You ruined the fandom, thanks. Yes. Those are your tacos?
How long did you guys get them ago? How long ago?
It was literally like late yesterday.
Okay, my intuition was correct. That's charitable of you, though.
Yes.
2 years in a row, I've gotten a picture with you on the first day. Last year I got a picture with you whenever I was eating breakfast, and the first day I got a picture with you.
See, the thing that I do with people is that they don't ask me for pictures. I just go up and I'm like, hey, there's a guy eating breakfast, and I just kind of get into a picture pose, and I'm like, what the heck's this guy doing?
And then
I'm gonna need this for court.
He's like, I'm not even.
They put it on Twitter, and then I'm like, see?
He's like a Delta pilot, and it's like, what's this guy doing? Get away from me.
Speaking of, we had this really weird experience this morning where, you started singing like Mulan or something in her room, and then it's like a voice from the next room over is like, I love Mulan.
Like, I was wearing this white, like, I took my blanket and wore like an Emperor Palpatine robe, and I'm like,
the entire
Mulan, we're fighting for, and then it's like, Mulan, from the other room.
It was actually kind of creepy because we're like,
No, I'll tell you creepy.
Okay.
It's when your girlfriend got back to the hotel room yesterday and she heard voices coming from the room.
Yeah.
Tell the story.
All right, so so basically, Sarah, do you want to tell the story? Come on up. Come on up. This is the first time we've gotten Sarah on a panel, ladies and gentlemen. Pull up a seat.
Pull up a chair by the hearth.
She could tell all the most embarrassing stories about Saber and I, by the way.
Oh my God, she can do a documentary about this. No joke.
Okay, so last night we were coming back from Outback because we went to eat at Outback. And they decided to go into the concert, and I was just really tired, so I was like, I'm just going to bed. So I walk up to the room, and I hear voices, and I'm like, is that coming from the room next door? And I like put my ear up to the door. I'm like, no, it's coming from inside our room. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And so I'm listening more, and I'm like, those voices are really familiar. I'm like, and I'm just thinking, who is in our room? And I hear Jeffrey's voice, and then I
My
hear
roommate,
another
by the way.
voice. Yeah. Sorry, I always do that. And then I hear one of his best friend's voices. I'm like,
Yeah, does anyone here seen the Low Budgets?
yeah.
Okay, you know Tommy? She was hearing his voice, and she's like, is Tommy here? Like, what's going on?
And so it suddenly just clicked in my mind. I'm like, oh, it's good. And I opened the door, and Jeffrey's got his Low Budgets playlist going. I guess it was playing the entire time we were out at Outback.
I must have like hit play on something, like one of the videos, and the playlist kept playing. It's actually the only way we really get views. We just keep resetting the playlist.
It took me forever to figure out where the video was playing though, because
Yeah.
you have so many tabs open all the time, so I was just closing everything. And then, yeah, it took me like maybe 2 minutes to find exactly where the video was.
I think you did it on purpose, just to freak her out.
Yeah.
She'll never know what's coming. Well, it just worked out that you also were the only one that went back to the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stories she could tell about us, like you have no idea.
Do you have any like favorite stories? No, I hate hanging out with you guys.
I remember, I think it was last year at Fiesta Equestria, y'all made like a pillow fort.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it's never.
That was
We're literally like children.
No,
Like,
she's the mom, and we're like a bunch of 8-year-olds. And we're like, we'll wake up in the morning, like pillow fights, jumping on the beds, and wearing blankets like cloaks, and like quoting movies. And Sarah's like, "Okay, children, come to get."
like earlier today, we were jumping on the bed and everything, and just like being stupid. And she's sitting there in the corner with her legs crossed, playing her video games. Like, I'm just gonna ignore
I
what's
just
going
tune it
on.
out.
And it's funny because like you'll have us going insane. Like, okay, you had a video where you uploaded on YouTube where you're on the cruise, right?
Yeah, it's in my Hawaii vlogs. And Sarah and I went on a cruise with my family, and the toilet was making like really strange noises. Like I was actually like scared of what was happening.
And he hadn't even used it yet, so that was the scary part.
Yeah. Well, has anyone here ever been on a cruise? All right. Do you know like when you flush the toilets, they like go like
an airplane, right?
It's scary. Well, what happened was like I walk into the room and there's just like this like humming noise coming from the bathroom, and I'm just like and they were humming the Lord of the Rings music. Yeah, it was real. And I'm like Sarah, what's going on? And she's like, I don't know, I'm busy.
Oh my God! You have no idea. This video like perfectly like summarizes their relationship. Like Ray's is shirtless, walking around like with his vlog with his camera. He's like, "What's going on, Sarah?" And Sarah's laying on the bed on her laptop.
Yeah, and I look over and the camera kind of pans over and you see she's playing solitaire.
No, but you asked her first. You said, "Oh, are you concerned? No, what are you busy to check us out with me?"
Yeah, help me. And she's like, yeah, she was giving me the I'm busy. And she was busy playing solitaire.
Like, I'm busy. Camera pans over.
It wasn't even spider solitaire, it was just
It's
solitaire.
regular solitaire.
Did you win that game?
No, I never win.
Cool.
So, thanks for the help.
It doesn't bother me. My toilet does the same thing at home.
You live in a
That's why you're moving out, right? That's why you're moving out.
Yeah, that's exactly the only reason why.
Yeah. So, any other questions for Sarah? Or anybody?
What's wrong with the toilet?
I have no idea. I flushed it again, and it made this really loud mechanical noise, and I don't know what. We probably sunk like the bottom half of the ship, but then the noise went away, so it was okay. So, a question, yes?
Alright, I swear guys, this is going to turn into a stupid joke. Why are so many chickens in Hawaii?
That is a really good question. So obviously you've been watching the vlogs. Yeah, there are a ton of chickens in Hawaii. Like Chick-fil-A should have originated in Hawaii.
Well, Georgia, our main export is chicken, but we keep them corralled in little barns. But watching the vlogs, they're free roaming.
They're everywhere. Part of me wondered, like, are they like the state bird or something? Like,
I don't really know. They're just all over the place.
It's because they're so busy.
200 and something.
Yeah, they're so busy eating ham over in Hawaii that they like forgot that there's such thing as chicken. I don't know.
Is there a thing over there, like one of their main foods, or?
I don't know. Like I don't know if like they're sacred or what. Yes.
Yeah, they skewer a pig, but yeah, a lot of free-roam chickens or something.
No, that
Slow
pork is
cooked pig at
fantastic.
the luau
though.
was so good.
Do what?
Yeah.
The slow cooked pig at the
Yeah, when like pork at a luau in Hawaii is just phenomenal.
I never had it before.
It's phenomenal. Like if you like salty food, you would love that.
Yeah, savory over sugary.
Yes.
What's the funniest experience you've ever had, or like most like embarrassing? What's the dumbest experience
Oh, we've got a handful. Let me think.
as a child?
Oh, as a child.
Dumbest? Oh.
At heart. It's tough.
It's funny because I think back to memories and I'm like, wait, I think that was a dream. Like that one time I went to school, like not wearing any clothes, and I was like, how did I forget about that?
Freshman college year was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know
Well,
what?
I have one that's kind of like inappropriate, but it's a poop story, so. Who poops? It's gross. Here, let me see if I can brainstorm some other ones before I have to rely on that. Can you all think of any? Okay, I guess I will. So, I was a little boy living in Florida, Miami, and I was about 5 years old at the time. Actually, no, I'm starting to really reconsider. Maybe I shouldn't tell this story. Okay, I'll do it tastefully now. Okay. So,
Yeah, a tasteful poop story.
As a child, you think like, you come up with excuses to your parents, and you think this is a brilliant excuse. They have to believe it. Like I'm not sure if you all have ever had a chance of like where a kid tells you something, and they're like they wholeheartedly believe in what they're saying, and they think it's gonna fool you, and you're like, you think I'm an idiot? And, you know, of course this is fake. Okay, so as a kid, I went to the backyard, and I had to use the bathroom. And I figured, oh, I can either walk 5 feet inside and use the bathroom, or I can do it out here in the backyard. So I took that path.
Everyone's respect level is just rising for Sabres Park right now.
I was 6 years old at the time, so
I thought this happened last week.
So you know, on that wonderful Florida crabgrass, I did my thing, and then I realized, oh shoot, there's evidence right there of what I did. And my mom walked outside, and she's like, Steven, what's this? And we have a fenced backyard, like 5 feet tall, white picket fence, and I'm scrambling my brain, my little 6-year-old brain, like, what do I tell her? Oh my God, got it. Mom, you won't believe this. A dog jumped over the fence, did its business, and jumped right back over the fence. And in my head, I'm like, oh, this is such a brilliant idea. There's no way she can't believe this. It's foolproof. And my mom just got that. Why didn't you go inside and use the bathroom? Mom, it was the dog! And she's like, that's not dog. And that was the moment where I realized that my mom's a lot smarter than I thought, and I'm a lot dumber than I thought.
I realized that, like, you know when you're a kid, you think you're invincible, and you think that everything around you is invincible. Like, well, I learned that when you kick a windshield, it actually breaks. That was a hard one to explain to my mom, and, I was like 19. Yeah.
19?
No, I was probably like 6 years old. And
You were a dumb 6-year-old.
I was a really dumb 6-year-old, but no, yeah, and I was like, I was leaving my friend's house, and I'm like, that's funny, I kicked the windshield.
I got other ones.
Oh, I had to pay with that with my own allowance. That was a lot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have a story now. Okay. So, when I was about 8 years old, I moved to Georgia with my family, and I was trying to get to know the kids around the neighborhood. Well, there was this one kid who was really rich. His name was Austin, and he had this amazing basement with all these old school arcade games like Galaga, Pac-Man. He had the coolest basement ever. And back then, I was a really shallow kid. I'm thinking, I want friends with stuff. They're my best friend. Oh, God. There's sleepovers. Well, the mom never really likes me. I can't imagine why. I'm amazing. And I remember going to Austin's house, and hey, let's go play in your basement, play some of these old school arcade games. And his mom's like, well, I'm leaving to go into the store. You all have to play in the backyard until I get back. And so we were playing on the play set in the backyard. And I had this idea where I'm like, I want to get into the basement. And I lied to Austin. I said, Austin, dude, I had this crazy dream last night that we played Galaga and we got the highest score. Let's make this really happen. And he's like, really? We got the highest score? Okay. So we went into his basement and we're gonna play the video games. Well, the mom was smart. She shut everything down, so they're all dead. We couldn't figure out how to turn them back on. So we're like, well, that idea is shot. And I noticed they had a gym, a little home gym with a treadmill. And I thought, let's go play it there. So Austin and I go into the gym and we get on the treadmill. We're kind of walking on the treadmill like in single file. And we thought, let's crank this thing to 100. So we crank it on 100. And he's in the front, I'm on the back, and we have our legs split, spread apart like that, where the treadmill track's going through. And we're like, okay, this is gonna be so cool. We're gonna go at high speeds and run together at 100 miles an hour or whatever. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And it launched me. He didn't do it, he chickened out. But I jumped on the thing, and like, here's the treadmill, here's the wall. I flew and made a hole in the wall. No joke, like I launched into the drywall. So it flung me 5 feet, I hit the drywall, I come to and I'm like, so I knocked my breath out. And I keel over and fall on the ground and I'm looking at the hole in the wall. And this is Austin, he ran the wall like,
He's freaking out because he knew his mom's gonna find out. And he took this piece of this yoga mat and he put it on the ground. He gonna drop it there and let go of it and it just fell down. And he's freaking out.
and I'm like crawling out the door to the backyard, like I gotta go home. And I get back to my house, and about an hour later, my mom was like, Steven, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh my God, okay. And I went back to my toy room, and I was just kind of like trying to recover. And then my mom walked into the room, and she's like, Steven, did you make a hole in the wall at Austin's house? So yeah, we had to pay for the drywall. And they never invited me back ever again.
I think the other experience that comes to mind, which was pretty embarrassing as a kid, when I did not get the concept of ding dong ditch. So I went up, ding dong. The guy answers the door, and I'm just like, what was the point of this? Ding dong, ditch. Gotcha! And just walk away.
I stole cars when I was a kid.
Hot Wheels.
No.
Oh.
Like, you know those cars, like, I was a bad kid.
Like legitimate, like, you know, little hot wired car.
No. You know those little like cars, like little small, tiny ones that kids can drive around in and everything? I always wanted one of those. And, well, I was 8 years old, and this one kid near Austin's cul-de-sac, he had one of those cars. I'm like, I want that. And one day the parents left the house and they left the car in the driveway. So, like a good person, I stole it. And I was driving it around the neighborhood until it ran out of electricity. I'm like, oh, well, this is over. And I walked away and left in the middle of the road.
It's the new concept for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto for kids. Power Wheels. It's like those things like when you go up a hill, they just die. Like,
explore the cul-de-sac.
Man, my mom, I thought, actually, she put up with a lot of my shenanigans when I was a kid.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, well, you're a liar, you put holes in drywall, and you're accused of Grand Theft Auto.
And she still loves you. No. Next question? Yes.
Equestria. I'm just joking. Oh my God. DHX is like, you gotta look at a snipe.
I think I would have to say The Room.
Yes!
Because
What's The Room?
The Room is that one by that guy that, thank you, Tommy Wiseau. And it's you must have seen clips of it on YouTube.
What happened?
It's the guy who's like, yeah.
Tear me apart,
You're my #1 customer. Thanks, hi doggy. Just walking out the stairs. It has the absolute worst dialogue, but it's like you can't stop watching it.
For me, Trolls 2.
Trolls 2.
You know what I'm talking about? The one, was it Trolls 2?
Was that the one that had the guy that went, oh my god?
Yes. My friend Scott and I were watching it, and there was a scene when his dad's wearing his pajamas, and like we try to catch that little like continuity issues where the camera's going back from the dad to the mom, and the dad's like pajamas kept buttoning up and then unbuttoning and kept going back to him and buttoning back up again and unbuttoning. So it's like in this conversation, I was imagining him being like, "Honey, what's wrong? We got to stop the trolls or something." I don't know.
Did you see that? Like Tommy Wiseau had a thing I think on Twitter or something where he's like, it was a July 4th like I guess commercial where it was pretty much do the American thing and buy The Room on DVD. It was like, yes, the ultimate American movie.
That's what the founding fathers would want.
Yes. What's your favorite worst movie?
Oh man, I need to watch more. I know you and I watched a couple on Netflix. I can't even remember the name.
Ingersoll and Jim or whatever.
Yeah, it's like it had the weirdest
Kiara the
names,
Brave.
but those were pretty fun to watch.
Titanic the musical. That was
Oh,
or not
I wish I could
musical,
watch
the animated musical.
Yeah.
That was fun too. Yes. A story. Come on up. We'll hear your story.
Okay, you know how you see the YouTube videos? And I saw it one time, I'm like, ooh, maybe I can make a video. And because I was really young, I was like in elementary still. And so,
How old are you now?
I'm 14.
Okay.
You're still young.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she's like, way back when I was a kid. So I'm like, all
Back
right.
when I was 7.
And so I got, because I had a gerbil at the time, his name was Grady, because I got it for getting good grades. And so I was like, oh, you know those circus music? I would go and I would put him in his hamster ball. So I made a video, and it was not a private. And so I put it up, and I had my hamster in the bathtub. But it was not water, there was no water. So I could just run around, and I went dun 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 dun. So I posted it, and the next day somehow it got to everybody in the school. Like somebody had sent it. I had somebody who I knew that at the time was like a fake enemy, and like I didn't like her, and she didn't like me, and I found out that she sent that to everybody in the class. And there was so many mean comments on the YouTube that like one was says, "I will hunt you down and kill your gerbil."
Well, that means you made it on YouTube. That's the sign.
And all the comments were bad, and actually that was a fence, and we hunted down that guy. We hunted down the guy, and I actually found him at my brother's middle school. And one time he was at a show or something, and we were there, and I'm like, you do not, I gave him a talking to. And I was like, and then I'm like, yeah. And so from then on, we put private. I've never put a video ever again.
What are you trying to art haters? You should be a bounty hunter.
Awesome. Yes.
What's your favorite superhero and which pony would you make?
Okay, so favorite superhero and which pony would it be? If it represented that hero.
She-Hulk, and I guess Fluttershy would be the best one because she was actually the Hulk.
But you?
Superheroes? Superheroes. I'd say Genie is my favorite superhero from Aladdin. And,
Sure.
and, no.
Maybe Pinkie Pie, if anything.
No. I'd like Hasty Turnip Truck to be
She's the worst,
Genie.
aren't you?
I am fantastically worse.
I think Rainbow Dash should be a good Wolverine. She's ticked off enough. But yeah.
Rainbow Dash would be a good Flash. Oh. Yes. Yes. Hazy Turnip Truck?
He's
an actual character in the show. He's the guy that walked up to Rarity.
Hi, Rarity.
Yeah. It's actually one of her favorite.
It's me, Hasty Turnip Truck.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, he's the guy with he's the, like one guy that wears a cap in Equestria.
Right at the home down last fall.
Yeah.
Cajun ponies?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. True.
I think I missed that episode.
Yeah.
Shoot.
And Hasty Turnip Truck's just like, what's up? How did you get a job here? He's probably like someone's lawyer.
Oh, no, he's washing windows, wasn't he?
Or that. Probably was. Question in the back?
On your way to conventions, have you ever had an awkward moment with the TSA officer?
Yes. You have? Well, you told us the other day, which was basically...
Yeah, in a nutshell, when I was flying up to Minneapolis a few weeks ago for MSP, I got pulled aside for special screening, and I thought, why? And they said, and there were these two big security guards from TSA are like, put your hands out, please. I put my hands out, and they dab with this little white cloth, and I'm like, okay, you're good to go. Yeah, they're good to go. And I didn't have to even go through the, like, they checked my bag to the machine, and that was it. I'm like, okay, that was strange. Because he said that this is the new thing they're doing. Is it the, yeah, well, they're doing a new rollout now, so.
I saw that too. It's funny because they weren't clear when I was at, to completely hijack your story. Well, I was just going to say that when I was at the airport on my way here, flying with U.S. Airways, and they have these two lines, but there was no one standing there telling people which line was different. Like, I thought it was just, two directions, right? So I'm like, well, I'm going to go on this line. It's shorter. And this lady all of a sudden stops me, and she's like, sir, what are you doing in this line? I'm like, going to my gate? I don't know, isn't it security? She's like, no, this is the random check. And I turned around, and lines and airports, they're not like this big. They're like enough for one person to walk through. I turned around, there's 20 people behind me. I have to walk through and, excuse me, I'm the guy, excuse me. And it sucked. So, yeah, I did not get randomly selected and actually hurt my feelings.
What's up? Paper or plastic?
Paper.
You make it rain.
You all ever had okay, when you were a kid and you were taking groceries on the side from your helping your mom out or your dad out, taking groceries on the side into your house, do your parents ever say you can't carry that much, come back for another load? But you're like, I have to do it! Challenge accepted! Yeah! I do that. Yeah, my mom's always she's like, you can't carry that much. I'm like, you don't know me, woman. I'm power level.
Legs all in your arms.
I actually, again, going back to, I have a series on my channel called The Low Budgets for those that don't know. And what it is it's my friend Tommy and I going through, pretty much we do destruction derbies. And we do all sorts of crashing up cars, just destroying them. And we made a whole series about it, basically showing the process of getting the car ready, which always involves us doing something wrong, and then the lead up to the actual event. And so I bring this up because Tommy and I have known each other forever, and Pickle Brony's calling me right now. Doesn't even know I'm in a. I know it is, yeah. But yeah, so what happened was, the reason I'm going to answer paper is that we used to run around his backyard and do figure eight racing. And what we do is we would put the paper bags holding up against us as though they were the front end of our car. And we just run into each other. And the problem with this is he had a dog who was just absolutely into this. And he completely took me down when we were doing this. It hurt. But it was just one of those things where it was what are we doing? The things we did, and we still do it today, just with real cars now. Yes?
You know when you talk about the groceries? One time we hit the store. We came back. We opened the thing to get the groceries out and goes splat. The milk actually just splatted everywhere. There's milk, and then my cat comes and drinks it off the ground.
That's why people have pets. We have a dog, and I'm every time I drop food, as long as it's not chocolate, I'm dog grapes.
Seriously, grapes are bad for dogs.
Oops.
I think grapes are cyanide.
It's a good thing I was here this weekend.
B-Vince was laughing when I started about it. He's like, yeah, I get my dog grapes all the time. It's so funny. I put them in his mouth and spit it out, and he's like, what do I do with this grape? I'm like, B-Vince, grapes are deadly to dogs. And he's like, yeah, man, you got me. No, I'm serious.
Yes?
Can we get that food story codified and animated?
Please do. I expect it. Who's the lucky volunteer?
Greg, you in the back.
Okay, no cheating. Pirate or ninja?
I say pirate.
Pirate.
Yeah, pirates have more fun.
There you go.
There was this show called Greatest Warrior. Y'all remember that they take random people to fight? Well, they had a knight fighting a pirate, and it was the funniest fight ever, because most of these fights are serious, it's some samurai versus some other knight. And but they had the pirates of the night, and when they were recreating it, there's this funny scene when like they're fighting on the beach, and the knight's like taking a sword out and trying to chop at the pirates. And the pirate takes a handful of sand and goes, "Yarg!" and throws it at the guy's head, and it gets in his eyes. And all I could think of was like, pocket sand. And I'm like, wow, that pirate played dirty. He took a handful of sand. Yeah, he won!
So he put the thing in his helmet and like.
Yeah, it worked! The sand guy, he's like, oh! And then he tackled the guy and put his blunderbuss, whatever, in the guy's head and shot him. It's like, pirate sand always prevails, yarg.
That's your dark. And then he shot him in the head. It was great.
He's the greatest warrior.
Yes?
Tacos from this morning.
I've now heard 3 different origins of these. Go get them. Eat them, man. Let me know. He has a flight, so it'll be good. And then you had another question?
They're soft.
Sure.
There's no way this can go wrong.
Most embarrassing moment on stage.
The tacos gone bad.
Just wait. It's about to happen to him in about 5 minutes. How is it?
It was the dog.
It's food.
We don't get a lot of that at cons.
What was your most embarrassing moment on stage?
Well, I haven't had much of a moment on stage. But last
Being
year
up
at
here with
Fiesta
you guys.
Equestria, y'all had me get in front of the, I think, Everfree.
2 years ago.
Yeah, it was some type of
Yeah.
camera that was set up in here. And
No,
oh,
you
wait,
had me
wait.
stand with Ellie Mint. And I
Oh, that
was
was
so
this year.
uncomfortable because she like had her arm around my shoulder.
Who does everyone know who Ellie Mint is by this point? Okay, it was a girl who was here last year who. Are you enjoying that? It was a girl who was here and she was telling everybody that she was a voice actress on Friendship is Witchcraft, which wasn't the case. Yes, in case you've heard the joke or seen the actual Jenny Nicholson, a lot of people have her badge. That's the joke, is because she's actually here this year. And she made the joke herself as well, just going like, "Hi, I'm Ellie Mint. I'm a voice actress on Friendship is Witchcraft." And I was like, "Yeah, right." No, actually, I am. Yeah. Yeah. So that was.
But yeah,
that
I was like,
last
I was
year.
standing next to her and she had her arm around my shoulder and she was like asking me questions and she's like, "Oh yeah," like my boyfriend, like Gavin and whoever from Rooster Teeth. And I'm just like,
She had like 50
Right.
boyfriends.
Yeah, she did. Apparently Gavin was also running the convention because she was like, "Yeah, my boyfriend runs the convention." It was like, okay. There's a lot of dots to connect in that one. But yeah, so do you have a most embarrassing moment on stage?
Every time on stage I feel embarrassed, but most embarrassed? Not really. Nothing else
Yeah, it's kind of hard to have a most embarrassing moment, I think, when you're on stage. There was a time when we were doing a Who's Line, and you know, sometimes like you get ready to, it was actually last year, Fiesta Equestria, and it was one of those moments that I don't think a lot of people realized, but I lightly acknowledge it in the video, is that I went to say something to him, and it was like, "What happened?" Or like, whatever I said, like, I just saw spit go flying all over Saber's face. And I'm just like, ugh! And I realized nobody on the audience could tell what just happened. So I was like,
Between you and me.
ugh! And they're like, why did he do that? So yeah, so sorry about that, by the way.
Oh, I liked it.
You've had your hand up. Uh-oh. We won't tell anybody about it.
To the microphone.
Okay.
And so I've been in it year after year. And this one year, I guess I was so excited to get on stage. They usually ask from now on, you have to go to the restroom right before you go on stage. And there's a moment where until all the American girls are done, you can stay in this pose. So you're standing here, and all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, but I guess I had to go to the restroom and I didn't realize it. And so I'm standing here, I'm like, and all of a sudden I couldn't move. So you see stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, it's so
Pinky Ray.
And then I had to go like this during, I was like this, one part. And I was like that, and I'm like, I was like this, and when I got up, I started crying, and they let me cool down. I started falling out crying.
Well, you know,
That's not embarrassing at all.
On urinate themselves, so that's just protocol.
That's happened to all of us.
It happened to me actually right now. Those tacos are.
Where did your bags go? You in the back?
Those tacos, actually, they're the same lineup
Don't tell me this now. You should have spoken up.
They all like had this like moment before the panel. Like,
There was a bunch of laxatives.
I just asked her.
Why are all these taco people raising up? I brought the tacos.
is there a taco next door that I didn't know about?
I'm
Everybody
sorry,
got tacos?
What are you gonna say?
Actually, last night, my family and I, we actually bought a lot of tacos because a lot of people were supposed to come up to the room and eat, and no one came. And we did actually give someone the tacos, and he actually brought them in here at the rave. So I don't know if those are the same.
Oh no. Dear God, no. I'm gonna have a fun flight. Why?
This morning, we gave them to Fluffle Puff. Fluffle Puff is the one who brought them in right now.
See, but when she's leaving out the part about we just got him from someone last night too. We brought him this morning. But
Saw them in the dumpster. We thought,
you over there? Yes, in the back.
Rise the pen to the top.
what's that?
Rise the pen to the top.
It surely is.
My toilet's gonna be singing songs later too.
And then you right here with the awesome looking pants. You just looked the other way. Now you're looking at us. Yes.
What's the previous or most extreme experience you've had at con?
All right.
Here,
All right. We're at that
Can we both tell the story together?
part. Yeah, but should I tell it first, or do you want to lead into it?
Well, I'll lead into it, so you start first. Wait, what?
Thanks. So, at MSP just a few weeks ago, a couple of you are nodding. Those that watch the vlogs may already have an idea of what happened. Or this was asked on Tumblr, and I kind of went into a little bit of detail. This was an odd moment for me. The oddest I've ever had is that we had a Bronies React panel that I showed up like 3 minutes late for. Sorry about that.
Just another day for AC Race.
Yeah, that's right. And after this panel, well, actually during the panel, there was this one guy who asked, like, he kept getting back in line to ask questions, which, it's fine, but his questions progressed from, like, I have a gift for you, which was like this hood ornament, and then it went further to,
I friended you all personally on Facebook.
yeah, he's like, hey,
You're
and yeah, the weirdest part, like the first sign, I'm like, this is new, is that, people will call us like Saber Race. This guy called us by all of our first names, like there were 4 of us up there, including Black Griffin, and he's like,
Yeah.
so I have a question for Jeff, Steven, Gabe, and Mike. And it's funny because it's Mike the microphone, so we all made the joke about like, it's Mike.
Mike's real name is not Mike.
It's not Mike. And so anyways, we were already starting to see this guy quite a bit. And afterwards, he asked us to sign his booth,
Yeah,
which still wasn't the weirdest part.
it's worse.
And then he asked me for a hug.
And I was like, I'm kind of staying behind them, talking to other people, and then I look in the corner of my eye and I see him kind of,
Biting my neck.
yeah.
He asked for a hug, and I was like, I've never had a bad hug experience before, so I was like, yeah, man, why not? And then he started kissing my neck.
He went right where they had a very, strong embrace, and then he just plopped a wet one on.
And I just kind of glanced at Saber like, what's going on?
I heard the sloppiness.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, okay. And he was, I love you too, okay.
And he was like, his face was just so plain after. He was like, yeah, mission accomplished, and walked away.
Yeah, and what actually I found out later was that he did the same thing to Black Griffin and D Notum.
Yeah, and he gets around.
Well, who doesn't want to do that to D Notum?
I was thinking about it.
But no, yeah, so he eventually ended up getting kicked out of the convention, so.
Well, he chased us to our room. Let me tell you.
Oh, okay, so you want to go that further?
Yeah. So we were at a panel, and then we left the panel with some of our friends, Beavis, Jay Holler, Race, myself, and Paleo. And the guy is trailing behind us and following our group. And what's going on? And Jay Holler's like, well, he thinks I took his Sharpie, but this is my Sharpie. Like, Jay Holler's very adamant. When he thinks he's right, he sticks with it. He's like, I'm not, because I saw him talking to the guy before we left the panel, and Jay Holler's like, no, this is my Sharpie. Get your own, I know what I'm talking about. So he's following our group, and we get to our room, and we close the door, and we look through the little eye hole, and he's standing out there. And it's like a slasher film or something. And Beavis is like, I'll take care of this.
Chuck's on it, permanent marker, the marker's gone, the guy's gone.
He took his own Sharpie and threw it outside, and the guy took it, Didn't he stand up and like look at the door for a few seconds and then walked away?
I was afraid.
Yeah, I was like.
So that was, yeah, and then to add to it, you know, we referred to him as like, you know, just a stalker. And I like how he went on, you know, he's found my personal Facebook and he sent me a message there explaining to me how he wasn't a stalker. And I'm like, if you're gonna explain to someone how you're not a stalker, don't like show up at their front door going, I'm not following you around or anything.
I don't have a problem.
So that was the weirdest. And even then, it was just kind of like one of those moments I look back and I'm like, that was weird.
That's a
Move on.
story.
Yeah.
Did you sign his food?
Yeah, of course. You got a question?
Yeah, I got a question for Race and Sarah.
Oh.
A few weeks back, I watched a couple episodes of Chip and Dale. Thought it was pretty good, but I wanted to ask you guys, in your opinion, when does that show reach its prime? When is it like the best it can be?
As in, like, from the seasons?
Yeah.
Okay, what's interesting about that show is that, you know, I watched it as a kid. You might have an answer for this. Do you? I was going to say the hardest part about the Rescue Rangers is that to this day, there's still a debate as far as which was the first episode that aired.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to even see, like, keep track of the order of events. Like Wikipedia has like dates and stuff for release dates, but even then, we're like, that's why I'm confused as to why there was ever a debate. And so it confuses me because I think, like, depending on, I don't know, which version of Disney Channel you had, I have no idea why. Yeah, well, back in the day, there was Toon Disney, Disney Channel, Disney Channel, I don't know.
Disney After Dark?
Yeah. I feel, me personally, I feel like, because that show had 65 episodes, it was, you know, a lot of shows have their 65 episode mark, and then Disney, or I guess most companies kind of say, all right, move on. That's why it's very rare to see a show go past the third season. Rescue Rangers got to the third season, they said, all right, now we need to start making shows about Aladdin and the Little Mermaid, and just like go back. Bonkers, yeah. And Bonkers is interesting because it's either you love that show or you hated that show.
I hated it.
Yeah. I liked police cars, so I was like, but the character really weirded me out.
Because it was about Toontown, right?
Yeah.
Tony,
They ruined it.
Yeah, it was about Toontown. It was supposed to have Roger Rabbit in it, but there was some type of copyright issues or something like that.
Thank
with
God.
Spielberg.
So I don't know if it ever, like, I want, in my mind, as far as I can remember, I don't think I ever hit a point where I felt like, you know, after this point you start losing the quality, because especially with such a short run, you know, you either live long enough to become the villain, I'm saying this backwards.
Either you die a hero or you live long enough to become the
Yeah,
villain.
that show died a hero, in my opinion. Okay.
I've heard of this.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
No, it's a real thing. I've heard about it.
What? Ew.
Who's the father? It's like my question.
One of those two thugs. There's no way a genie could have a child. What the actual heck? And the heroes have kids too? So which heroes are in there?
We'll have to look at it.
So Jafar has a son. That would be... Hey, can you imagine Jafar having like...
No. I would like to
I
know.
hope it's like the genie version of Jafar, just like...
Jafar?
I hope you're talking about the bird. The bird has a son too. Another point, by the way, on the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, I made a video called "It's Happening." ...
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, did people give you weird looks in the mall when you did that?
Yes. I got very strange looks in the mall. Basically, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Disney is right now working. Now, there's some groans when I get into the details of this, but they're making a live-action version of the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. See, people groan because they hear live action. But here's my only point to that, is that the reason that I have hope is because I don't think Disney is going to just like, yeah, do whatever you want. These are like as close as you get to Disney main characters.
Have you seen Planes 2?
Fire and Rescue, it was great.
You're in great hands.
I'm going in there with hope, because well, the puns.
Those are great.
Oh, in the planes. I'm like in Rescue Rangers. I got shanghaied in Shanghai on a junk full of junk. It was like, that was great. You need to look it up on YouTube. Yes.
What's one of your best moments ever?
Being here with you guys.
Well, for me,
Also being here with us.
I think just, existing, just getting there before the other guys did.
I'm
It was
alive!
the only race I ever won.
What about you?
Actually, like one thing just did like pop into my mind. There was one time in middle school, and we were in art class, and for some reason I was standing on the table. I guess we were posing for life drawing or whatever. Thank you. It's middle school.
Oh,
All right,
it's not high school. That's you.
Not even high school. But yeah, I was stepping off the table, and we have those like really tall stool type of chairs. And I step onto the stool, and it starts falling, and I'm like, oh no.
You said, oh what? I'm sorry, she has a singular mouth.
Yeah, I do.
It's the worst.
Yeah, it starts going down, and somehow I just managed to just gracefully step off.
Oh, you're stepping down off the chair?
Give us an example.
Oh my god. Like Christ
And my arms
Redeemer.
spread and everything. Like it was like I landed like a flip in gymnastics, Olympics or whatever. Just.
And Sarah knew that life would never get better than that moment.
The epitome.
I
No,
see.
it was just a proud moment. I saved myself.
Nice work. Do you have a question?
Tacos to the convention volunteers?
What?
Have you ever thought about giving tacos to the convention volunteers?
I have, but I've thought about giving them like day-old tacos.
I want to give them all food poisoning.
He's like, I'm hungry.
If you want one, take it.
There you
You're
go.
free, yeah.
Approved.
What about Rainbow Dash up here? Uh-oh.
If you could bring one Disney character to real life, who would it be?
I know this question was for me, but you guys, I have to think about this question. Can you think of anyone?
Walt Disney. Character.
If you could bring any Disney character to life, who would it be?
Like the original Star Wars prequels.
My answer. Fix-It Felix Jr.
Yeah.
From Wreck-It Ralph. He's like my favorite.
I'm gonna say
Bambi's mom. I'll stop now.
Mufasa.
I was gonna actually say that villain from Pete's Dragon, because he just
Dr. Terminator.
Who here has seen Pete's Dragon? Because there's actually a lot of people who haven't. For all you youngins, you need to go watch that movie. For all you oldins, you need to watch that movie. They have like the songs in that movie are just every little piece, every little piece. It's ridiculous because you actually come to love the villains almost more than you actually like the.
Villains are always better than the main characters.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you serious? There's nothing sacred.
They're remaking Pete's Dragon?
I did hear about
I'm
it.
actually nervous.
Let's do one last question.
I would also say, sure, Chip and Dale. Why not bring one of them back to
Are they a package deal?
But which one?
You don't, well, technically, aren't they one? Aren't they like Gemini?
Gemini.
Can I bring both of them? Gemini. Thank you. All right, so we have time for one. Actually, we're going to do a 60-second lightning round, right? All right, starting with you.
What has been your favorite part of this con?
Just talking to you all.
Yeah, and you guys. You in the back. Yes.
Speaking of Chip and Dale, wouldn't a live action of them just be Magnum T.I. and Indiana Jones?
Yes.
Yes.
Favorite color, go.
Woohoo.
Well,
What?
Chocolate. Caramel.
You.
You're like milk or water or something, and you just like spit it. You're laughing so hard, they spit.
Out my nose. Yes. In the back.
Part of the song that you least like.
The part of the comment we least like, yeah, wait, ask me about 20 minutes from now, and I'll let you know.
Waking up? I don't know.
Argentina or Germany?
Germany!
That's Cavani, yeah, that's Russian.
Brazil! You!
What's your favorite superpower?
Invisibility.
Telepathy.
And if you say it fast enough, it could be invincibility and invisibility. Yes. Ooh.
Favorite Disney one?
Indiana Jones.
Right. Indiana Jones, yeah.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
Nice. Yes.
What's under the table?
Not my pants.
Yes.
Condiment, okay.
Ketchup.
Blue cheese.
Trojan.
Say that one more time.
Should they make an Yzma and Kronk ride at Disney World?
Yes. Why not? All right. Last question. You.
One word. Waffles.
Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, kids and adults, thank you all so much for joining us here on this panel.
You made this special for us.
Yes, there's a couple hours left in this one. We love you all. We're going to probably be hopping around. Actually, it's lunchtime.
We got to take off immediately at the moment.
Yeah, but it's so great seeing you guys, seriously. If we don't see you for the rest of the convention, thank you for coming. We hope to see you guys all next year.
Have a great time.